Hey, Chloe Johnson here. I wanted to share this quick video with you to show you how my client went from struggling at 3K months, if she was lucky, to over $35,000 in a single month without feeling drained and overwhelmed, which I know so many e-commerce founders experience, and it just doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't have to be that hard if you have the right structure, strategy, support, and systems. So I want to share where she was at when she first came to me and where she's at now, and more importantly, how she made the leap in just 6 months so that you can do the same. Okay, let me take you through what happened. So when this client came to me, she had made one of the scariest decisions that a founder can make. She had decided to close the doors on her physical brick and mortar store and go fully online with the business. And unfortunately, instead of the fresh start that she was hoping for, she found herself stuck at 3K months with no clear path forward. So previously she had tried getting traffic with Google Ads, which she had hired an agency to do. She had hired staff, she was sending emails, she was bringing out new products. She was technically doing all the things you're supposed to do, and yet the revenue wasn't moving. It was just sitting flat at around 3K a month, and she really couldn't figure out why. She'd scraped the bottom of the barrel. The real problem here wasn't the amount of effort she was putting in clearly. It was that she didn't have a clear, data-driven view of what was actually going on in her business. She didn't know what was working, she didn't know what wasn't working. And when you don't have that kind of clarity, you don't know what to focus on, and you end up just handing over the reins to someone else like agencies, and you're really just hoping for the best, and you become a backseat driver in your business. That is a really uncomfortable and vulnerable place to be in, because you're spending money and you're trusting other people when you don't actually have the confidence or know how to make decisions that are right for your business, okay? So the first thing we did when we got together was I looked at her numbers. We got really clear on those. I'm not talking about complicated analysis here, just the core metrics that actually drive revenue in an e-commerce store. So it was things like her traffic, her conversion rate, her average order value, her repeat purchase rate. Now those last three are what I call the honeypot in e-commerce, and they are where you can really make money in your business, but you have to know how to use them. So we looked at all of these together, and it became really obvious where the constraint was for her. Traffic was not the issue. Google Ads was actually doing its job by bringing people to the website. The problem was what was happening when they arrived on her website. So visitors were coming, but they were leaving pretty quickly and obviously without buying. And the customers who did buy from her, well, she wasn't bringing them back to buy over and over again. So every sale she was making was costing her the full price of acquiring a brand new customer over and over again. So it was an expensive way to run her business. And this is one of the most common things I see at this stage in business. The instinct is to always get more traffic, to do more ads, do more social media. But if your store isn't actually converting the traffic that you're already getting, then more traffic just means that you're amplifying a really bad issue in your business. And it's like a leaky bucket, traffic in, customers out. Once we had that diagnosis, she knew exactly what to focus on. And here's the thing, having that focus completely changed how she worked. Instead of trying to do everything at once, instead of focusing on getting more traffic to her website, she had a clear monthly plan with one primary focus at a time. So that's not just about strategy, that's about giving yourself permission to stop being overwhelmed and winging it and guessing. So she did two main things. Firstly, she optimized her website for conversion with my help. We looked at her product pages, her trust signals, her checkout experience. The overall goal here was to collapse the amount of time it's taking for a visitor to decide to actually buy. So from going from cold to hot. Things like adding in video reviews, having stronger risk reversal messaging in place, and making the site feel like a brand that you can really trust at first glance. Secondly, we built out her Klaviyo email marketing. This is the retention piece, and it is where so many stores leave money on the table. And this particular client's data was telling us that her repeat purchase rate was not high enough. So the customers who had already bought from her, they were already warm, they were a ready to buy audience. We just needed an automated system to bring them back and remind them that she was there. Now I want to highlight here that these are not flashy strategies. They're not overcomplicated. But when you implement them properly, you actually look at the data, you tweak them, you work on them, you improve them, then your results will compound over time. And that's exactly what happened for this client. Within 6 months, she went from 3K months to consistent 10, 12K months. And then at Christmas time, her peak period, she went to 27K months. Everything we had built over those quieter months, the website optimizations, the email flows, retention strategies, all of it primed her for a beautiful peak season. She had never had a Christmas month above 10K in 5 years of running the business. That year, 27K. She more than doubled her sales in under 6 months. The revenue growth she experienced is incredible, there's no doubt about that. But what I'm super proud of is that she now understands her business fully. She can look at her numbers and know what they mean. She can now make confident decisions without needing an agency to tell her what to do. And that is what feeling empowered and being in control of your business actually feels like. And it changes everything about how you show up as a founder. You go from being a reactive operator to a CEO. Now, I checked in with this client 5 months after we stopped working together, and she had just hit another record month of $35,000. And that happened because she did the groundwork. But also, it's because she knows what's working in her business, what to amplify, what to actually look for when it's not working, and what to fix. So this client shared something with me after we'd finished working together that's really stuck with me. She said that I had opened up her eyes to things that she didn't even know existed. And that's the thing, you don't know what you don't know, right? She also said that working with me stopped her feeling overwhelmed, and it gave her clarity and direction on exactly what to focus on. And if she had done this earlier, it would have saved her years of time and money trying to figure it all out alone. And that's exactly how I felt in my business too in the early days before I got a coach as well. She was a little hesitant to work with me in the beginning because she had tried all the other things before and it hadn't delivered the results. But when she leaned in, she trusted the process, and I was as invested in her success as she was. And I'm like that with all of my clients. If you're in a similar position to where my client was, maybe you've got traffic coming in, you're doing all the things, but the revenue isn't reflecting the effort that you're putting in, the issue probably isn't what you think it is. The first step is always diagnosis. You need to understand your numbers. You need to identify what your biggest constraint is and build a focus plan around fixing one thing at a time. If you think you might want some help with that, the best thing to do is book a scale plan session with me. So it's a free 45-minute call where we will talk about what your challenges are in business, what your goals are. I'll look at your actual data and help you identify what is holding you back right now. And then we'll talk about next steps for you to grow your business. And if part of those steps is working together, if I think that I can help you, then I will tell you that, and I will share information on my coaching program, Ecom CEO. Either way, you'll leave with so much clarity that you can act on immediately. So you've really got nothing to lose. So if you would like to stop second guessing everything in your business and finally scale, then book that free 45-minute call. The link is below this video. And if now's not the right time, no worries. I hope you got so much value out of watching this video.